Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Before I get into the video, I want to say stop what you're doing. Go check out my social media. I'll put it on the screen here and down below. I have an Instagram that I'm very active on. I get your thoughts on there. You guys help me choose what I want to post for the week. And I want to get that to like 1,000 followers. So go check out my Instagram, my Snapchat, Twitter, and all that, okay? Anyways, getting into the video, today I'm doing a Zodiac video and I'm going to tell you guys my least favorite traits in each of the signs. So I'm going to do like a couple for each one. I don't really know how many yet, but yeah, this is kind of like a why I hate your sign part 2 video, but it's going to be less intense. It's just kind of like, oh, the traits that I'm not a big fan of, okay? So we're going to start with Aries since Aries season is like right around the corner. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Okay, let's get right into it. Okay, so Aries, I cannot stand that they're so controlling about everything, even about stuff that you can help them with. They just like to do things their way. Like it just has to be done perfectly their way. They're like perfectionists. I don't like that they have like this sense of entitlement, like that everyone has to like do what they say and live by their rules and respect them if they're not giving respects. Like I just feel like a lot of Aries are like that. Like they just have this sense of just entitlement, and it's really annoying. Another thing about Aries is something that I don't think they realize about themselves. It's just that it's something that I don't think they realize about themselves, but they really crave attention, especially from like the opposite sex or like whoever they're interested in. It's really annoying. Like I know a lot of Aries that are like this. They just need the attention from everyone on them, and they feel threatened if it's like on someone else at times. Like I've noticed that, and they act like they don't care, but it's like it's very obvious that like they need attention. I know so many Aries like this, and I really don't think they know that they're like this. That's the funny thing. Like I've met like at least 7 Aries that are like this, so that's something I don't like. Taurus, you guys probably know what I'm gonna say. I can't stand how stubborn Taurus are about silly things. They just like, they don't budge, they don't listen, they're just really stubborn, and it really irritates my soul. Oh my god. Another thing about Taurus that I don't like is that they act like they're smarter than you all the time. They act like they know more than you. They just act like they're very pretentious. I find that Taurus are very pretentious. Like they know more, they're better, they're this, they're that, and it's just like chill. Just chill. Another thing about Taurus is that they do a lot for you, and I feel like when they do that, they just expect a lot in return. They don't say it, but I find that like a lot of Taurus that I used to know, like they just do all this stuff for you, and it's like you don't ask them. It's like, oh, when you don't do it for them, it's like a problem, but it's like, I never asked you, I never wanted any of this, like, just don't do it and I'm good. I don't go above and beyond for people that I'm not close to, so don't expect that. Like, that's the thing. I've noticed that with some Taurus. Geminis, they're another one that they need attention all the time, and it drives me insane. I can't stand their like personality switches. Like one second they're sweetheart, they're loving, they're amazing. The next second they're just like so angry and crazy, and it's just like really confusing. It's hard to keep up with. I feel like I can get it. I feel like I understand them pretty well because I'm another air sign, so I get along well with them, but that's something that just like drives me crazy. Another thing that drives me crazy is the fact that they can be really fake. Oh my god, like Geminis can be so fake, it's insane. And it's like they act like they're this sweetheart, they act like they're perfection, but it's like no. Like they're actually so sneaky. They have a completely different side to them. Like Geminis are two-faced. Like that's what they're known to be, two-faced. Cancer, I don't like how emotional they are. They're just like so emotional, and I can't take it, and they constantly want you to feel sorry for them. And I'm not one to pity people. I don't like people pitying me, so I don't go out of my way to like show people that I pity them, because I don't have time for that. Like if you have a problem, talk about it. I can help you out with it, but I'm not gonna sit here and feel sorry for you. And I feel like they crave that, and it's like, whoa. Another thing is that they act like they're better than you when you first meet them, but like they're low-key insecure, so it's like, you know, that's not the case. It's one thing to just be confident and like arrogant, but it's another thing to pretend to be confident and arrogant when you're not. So it's like you're acting like you're better than these people, you're acting like, you know, kind of like a snob. I feel like they're very snobby, but it's like, you know, they're not. So it's really weird, and I don't like that about them, because a lot of times when I first meet a Cancer, I find them very snobby and arrogant, and then I find out they're the complete opposite. And I just think it's like this weird front that they put on. I think it's like a defense mechanism. It's them being in their like Cancer crab shell. So I find that really weird. Like, the thing is, when they're defensive, they don't really get upset. They just kind of act really angry and like jump at your throat, and it's like you're not even saying something mean, but it's like you feel like you are because the way they like attack you for it, and it's like, whoa, I didn't mean it like that. And they take everything very personally, and they can be very like negative and pessimistic. Leos, I could go on and on. I don't like how just selfish and self-centered they are. All they care about is themselves. All they talk about is themselves. All they like worry about is themselves. If you talk about yourself for like 0.5 seconds, they just like switch the conversation. I don't like that they have to be the center of attention at all times. Like, I'm not one to want to be the center of attention. So don't get me wrong in thinking that like I don't like people like that because I want to be the center. No. I just like when it's like neutral, you know? But they go out of their way to like tell the craziest stories even though it's a lie, or like do the craziest thing even though they're not comfortable with it, or just like they just have to be the center of attention, and they're very like egotistical, and it drives me up the fucking wall. I can't stand it. I feel like every single Leo is like this, every single one. I also don't like that you can't have an argument with them because all they want to do is be right. Like, even about the smallest things, they just always have to be right. And it's like, I can drop an argument and I'll be like, all right, cool, like, yeah. But they'll just keep fighting to make sure that I know that they're right. But it's like, I dropped it 5 minutes ago. Like, we don't have to keep talking about this. But they need to make sure that they know that you know that they're right. And that's one thing that just drives me insane because I'm not one to argue. It's like, if you want to argue, I'm not going to entertain it. I'm just going to be like, all right, you keep going, argue by yourself. And I'll sit there, like, quietly. But they keep going. It's like, yo, I don't care. Like, I just don't care. So just move on. Virgos, I don't like how defensive Virgos are. You can't really give them advice. You can't say anything to them because all they do is make excuses for everything. And it's exhausting being friends with a Virgo sometimes because it's like they ask you for advice and then they get defensive and they get crazy. And it's like, okay, well, I was asked. That's why I'm telling you this. So that's one thing about Virgos that literally drives me insane. I also don't like how, like, what's the word? They don't think and they do stupid things and they make dumb mistakes, and then it's like you have to hear about it, and again you try and tell them, well, maybe you shouldn't have done this, well, maybe next time, blah blah blah, but they just don't care and they don't see how stupid it was. And I feel like they're very ditzy sometimes. Like, don't get me wrong, Virgos are very smart. I always say I really like their mind. They're very interesting. They overanalyze, they overthink, so I think that's cool. But they can also be very ditzy in the sense that they just make dumb mistakes and they just do them over and over and over again, and they don't learn from them a lot of the time. So that's one thing I don't like about Virgo. And I'm talking like me being friends with these people. Like, these are the traits that I don't like in signs when I'm friends with them, but not in general. Like, if we're not friends, that doesn't bother me. Like, do whatever you want. But if you're my friend and I have to like put up with that, it's like, oh, this is getting a little bit tiring. I don't like how Virgos kind of don't care about other people unless it's like the one that they're in love with. I've noticed this. They don't check up on their friends really. They don't go out of their way to like make sure their friends are okay. They just don't care sometimes because they're too focused on themselves and, let's say, the person that they're with. The person that they're in love with is a completely different story. But I just feel like they're very like, they're kind of like Leos in the sense that they're like very selfish, I've noticed. Libras, I find that Libras are frustrating. This is so stupid, but I find that they're frustrating because they never want to argue when they start an argument. So like, they'll get mad and they'll start something, but then they don't want to talk or fight or, you know, talk it out. Like, they just want to drop it and start ignoring you. And it's just like, don't start an argument with me if you're not going to finish it, because once you get me riled up, I'm riled up, and you can't just sit there and give me the silent treatment. Oh my god, so many Libras do this, and it drives me insane, and I'm just like, oh my god, like, either don't start the argument or start the argument and finish it. Like, don't half-ass it because, you know, you cooled off already because you're a Libra and you like to avoid conflict. Like, no, we're gonna fight this out. Like, we're gonna fight. It's not that I want to fight, it's just that don't get me angry and expect me to just like calm down in a second just because you have. Like, it's just, it doesn't work like that. I'm not a Libra, sorry. Another thing I don't like about Libras is that when you tell them how you feel about something, let's say you're upset or angry, they're just kind of like, oh, like, they just don't say anything. Like, if you're bothered by something that they've done and you tell them, they're just like, oh, well, sorry. Like, and they don't take it seriously. This kind of has to do with arguing as well, but like, maybe I'm just too feisty for a Libra. Maybe that's what it is, but it's just like really frustrating because they're just like, whatever. Like, they're too chill. I know like a lot of Libras are like this, and I can't tell them how I feel about something. I can't get upset with them and have a proper conversation with them so that, you know, we can work on shit to make our friendship better. It's like, they're like, oh, sorry, like, I guess next time I won't do that. It's like, okay. Libras piss me off because they like to complain a lot. They complain about so much all the fucking time. And they go on and on and on. And you're just like, oh my god, I get it. Like, they just like to whine. I think they love to whine. And it's exhausting because who wants to listen to a whiner for like 20 minutes going off? Nobody. Nobody wants to listen to you whine. So stop it. Scorpios, I don't like how they always feel like you have to do what they say on the drop of a dime. Like, my sister's a Scorpio, and it's like, if I'm in the bathroom, let's say washing my hair, she starts getting mad at me because I got in the bathroom first and she wants to wash her face. It's like, I'm not gonna get out of the bathroom just because you want to wash your face, and we'll fight, and she'll start screaming and make me feel like I'm doing something wrong and just get angry and expect me to just leave. Like, why wouldn't you leave? Like, I have to wash my face. Like, she just has a sense of entitlement. Like, I know she's not watching this, so I don't really care, but like, I know a lot of Scorpios are like that. They expect you to do what they say because they said it, and they try and make you feel bad about something that you're doing when you're not doing anything wrong. Like, and a lot of Scorpios are like this. Like, they just expect you to do what they say when they say it. Like, it's just like, calm down. Like, I'm not here to listen to you. Like, are you writing my paycheck? No. Are you my mother or my father? No. So I'm not gonna listen to anything you say. I don't like how sneaky Scorpios are. I feel like they're the kind of person that if they find out that a guy they're interested in has a girlfriend, they'll make it like a challenge for them, and they'll like try and break them up. Like, they're very sneaky and malicious, and I don't like that about Scorpios. It's just like, I don't know. I also don't like how fake Scorpios can be. I feel like they act like they're very bubbly, like they love everybody, and so everyone loves them. But then when it comes down to it, it's like they're a completely different person, and they have this whole like front on, and they fool a lot of people, and it's just like, I see right through it. So I don't like how fake Scorpios can be. I've met so many Scorpios at so many like different places I've been to, school, work, whatever, and I always notice that everyone around them loves them, and they act like they love everyone else, but somehow I always find out that like that person doesn't like any of them, and they like hate everybody and blah 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 blah, and it's like, you're like putting on this huge ass front, and it's really confusing. It's hard to see through it if you're not like a big overanalyzer or someone that's good at reading people, but I see right through it in a second. Sagittarius, I don't like how stubborn they can be about really dumb shit. Like, they can be making a really dumb decision and they won't listen to anybody, and they'll ask for your advice and they'll make you feel sorry for them, but then they won't listen to anything. Like, for example, if you saw my story time about the girl that practiced witchcraft, I remember she had bleached her hair and she wanted to put like a perm in her hair, which is like double processing. It's gonna make your hair fall off. The hairdresser said it's gonna make your hair fall off. So I told her, like, don't do it. Like, why would you do that? Like, you have to sign a waiver, like signing away your hair basically. Why would you do it? And she wouldn't listen. She was stubborn, and she made it seem like it was me attacking her. Well, just like stop being stubborn about something so stupid. I also don't like how emotional Sagittarius can be. When you're friends with them, it's like you're on an emotional roller coaster. You constantly have to make sure they're okay. You constantly have to reassure them. You constantly have to be there for them. I probably sound like I'm like the shittiest friend ever. I'm not. I just can only tolerate so much out of a person, and I just can't be their little babysitter for everything they do, and you know, I can't. So it's really hard being friends with Sagittarius sometimes for that reason. Don't get me wrong, you guys know that's my favorite sign. I love Sagittarius, but like, they can be really, really emotional, and I can't keep up with it. I can't. I also don't like how when a Sagittarius is in a bad mood, they like drain the room of its energy. They want everyone else to feel bad for them, and it's just like, I'm having a good time and you're kind of dragging the mood down, but like, they don't care. It's like they want to drag the mood down, and they will not snap out of it. There's no talking them out of it. They're like really, really negative sometimes, and it's really hard to pull them out of it. I don't know anybody that can, and I don't know. I also don't like that they don't like trying new things. They like to stick to what they know, and that's really frustrating because they don't ever want to try something new. They don't ever want to step out of their comfort zone. It's just like, fucking step out of your comfort zone and try something, do something. Like, Capricorns, I don't like that. You guys have heard this before. They never want to help you. They never want to go out of their way to do something for you. They're just kind of like, oh, you're on your own, like, whatever. And they're really weird about it. Like, they make you feel uncomfortable a lot when you ask them for help or for a favor, and it's like, it's just weird. Like, I just don't do it because I get really uncomfortable. Continuing with uncomfortable, they're really awkward, and I feel like I'm repeating myself because you guys have heard this in my video. Let me think of something else, because you guys know that I think that they're really awkward and they make me feel uncomfortable. You know what I hate about Capricorn? I hate that they know how to make you feel so special, and then you see them doing the exact same thing to someone else. Whether it's a friend, a guy you're interested in, a girl you're interested in, whatever. But I've noticed this, like a Capricorn, like I've met somebody at school that like, I feel like we're friends and they make me feel so special. Like, yeah, we're gonna be friends now. Like, you know, I'm not a loner anymore. And then it's like all of a sudden, like they move on to the next person and they're just like charming their way around the room and they make everyone feel special. It's so funny. And I don't like that because it's like when I'm like a loner in a class and I don't know anybody and like I think I've met a friend and whatever, they're Capricorn, it's like nope, they talk to everyone like this. Like this is just who they are. So that's one thing I don't like about them. But I guess it's a good trait for them, so it's not that bad. It's what I don't like personally. Another thing I don't like about Capricorn is how creepy they are. They tend to know things about my life without me even telling them. They bring things up and they have no shame in it. They're creeps. They're really creeps. Aquarius, most of you guys know Aquarius is my sign, but they actually really irritate the shit out of me. I hate how hypocritical Aquarius are. They say something and they go ahead and do the exact same thing, and they were here talking shit about that, and I can't stand it. Like, I hate that about myself and I hate that about other Aquarius I know. They're so hypocritical. Like, it's just exhausting. When you're friends with one, it's just like, oh my god. You don't even want to call them out on it because they're going to come up with a million excuses as to why they've changed their mind, or, oh, I never said that. Like, they're just like weird about it. Like, they're just so hypocritical, and I wish more Aquarius would admit it. I know I can be really hypocritical, and it's really annoying and I hate it. Aquarius, don't ever listen to anything you say, and it's really annoying. Like, you can give them advice, they're not gonna listen. You can tell them that you did the exact same thing, it didn't work, they're not gonna listen. They do not listen to anything you say. You can't get them to do anything. It's their way or the highway. Like, that's it. Like, you think an Aries won't listen to you? Aquarius are on another level. They do not compromise, they do not listen. They're just like, they will not listen. So don't even bother. Just don't, because they're gonna act like it sometimes. They're gonna be like, yeah, no, I see what you mean, I see what you mean. But you're gonna look at them and you're gonna be like, I know you're not gonna do what I'm saying. I know you're not gonna take my advice, and you can go ahead and make your mistake. And they probably will, but the thing is, they'll come back to you and be like, yeah, you were right. They won't act like you never told them, like a Leo, because Leos will just like pretend it never happened. But Aquarius will come back to you and be like, yeah, you were right, but you know what, I had to learn on my own. So that's one thing about them. They have to learn on their own because they won't listen to you. They will not, so don't bother. If you try and tell an Aquarius to do something, just because they don't want to listen to you, they won't do it. So even if they want to do it, or even if they were going to do it anyway, all of a sudden they're not going to do it just because you told them, and it's a pride thing. They just don't like to listen to people. So let's say they were going to, let's say they're going to make eggs for breakfast, and you tell them, make eggs for breakfast. They're gonna like not want to do it anymore just because you told them to do it. It's so stupid. Like, it's so stupid. I remember a couple of years ago, I was gonna invite someone to my birthday party, and someone said, like, you have to invite this person, like, blah, 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 like, you need to. And I was just like, but I don't want to do what you say. What if I don't want to invite that person? You can't just tell me I have to invite them. Like, no. It's so stupid. It's like this weird complex in our minds where, like, we just don't like to listen to other people. We like to do things our way, or the way that we want to do them, and it has to be, like, our own idea. If you ask us to do it, yeah, it might be different. But if you tell us, we just want to show you that we don't listen to anybody. We don't take shit from anybody. We do things our way, and that's it. It's just like really, really strange. Oh my god, it's so weird. Pisces, I hate how much Pisces complain. They like to complain about every fucking thing, and it's so annoying. I know so many Pisces that it's like they love to complain and hear the sound of their own voice when they do. They're always whining. It's just like, oh my god, like, stop. Another thing I don't like about them is how emotional they can be, and their emotions are really, really, really deep. It's just like too intense for me. I cannot keep up with it. You can't pull them out of a funk. You can't talk them out of something. If they're angry, they're angry. If they're happy, they're happy. If they're sad, they're sad. Like, they're so heightened. Their emotions are crazily heightened, and I can't deal with them. It's like, oh my god, like, Pisces are so crazy in that sense. Like, they're so, so crazy. I don't like how mean Pisces can be over nothing. Like, sometimes they'll be, like, I always say this, they're such sweet people, but if one little thing sets them off, they can be really, really mean and vicious. They're not just, like, angry, but they're mean and vicious, and they say things to hurt you, and it's just, like, it's just too much for me. Like, I don't have many Pisces friends anymore. I used to have a lot, now I don't, but I do like Pisces, but they're just really mean. So just don't get on their bad side, because it's not even like they're just, like, angry. They're just, I don't know, they're just mean. It's weird. So just be wary of that. Alright, so those were all the 12 zodiac signs and the things that I like the least about them. So if you guys relate to these, let me know. Guys, try not to be offended, because I know the last time I did my Why I Hate Your Sign video, I got so much fucking hate. And you guys are taking it so personally, as if I'm talking about you. I've never met you. I don't know what you're like. I don't know. So don't get so angry over it. If you guys do agree with some of these points, so let me know down below which ones you agree with. And again, don't forget to check out my social media. I'll put it all down below. You can click on the links there and check them out and give me a follow. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, stay cute. Bye, guys.
We're spending too much time alone.
We're spending too much time alone.
And I just ran out of Trojans.
Horses gallop to her throne.